All right, hello Tide fans. Welcome to Tide Talk. I'm your host, Sean Taylor. Got my two buddies, Jimmy Moe. I'm not going to start this one like we did the last one. Although we could.
We could talk about on this one.
Well, we could sit here and go like, wow.
You're welcome.
So, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Moe.
No, don't mention it. Go ahead. Please, go ahead.
Of course, hang on. I'm not so sure y'all shouldn't be thanking me because let me just get this off the top of the show. So,
Because you make us look smarter?
no. So, yes, Tide fans, this
Think about
is
that.
my lucky shirt. I bought this shirt in 2009 when our host here, Sean Taylor,
he's washed it
went out to
once.
California.
That's right.
I wore this shirt that night in the national championship game 2009, and I bring it out of the closet once or twice a year when I feel the need to. And yes, I had this shirt on Saturday. Not that I'm trying to take credit for the win, because I know the players played extremely well. The coaches did their job.
It had everything.
But I'm just saying, I had the lucky, I had the lucky
Don't you
shirt
think?
on. Had the lucky shirt on and the shoes. So
I mean, it
just
sounds
saying.
that's almost as bad as the Georgia fans saying we should have made a quarterback change.
Well, I know he bought it in 2009 because I can smell it from here. He hasn't washed it since.
That's
But
because I
yeah,
wore it Saturday and ain't watched it since. How about that?
again, you may want to start this one.
That's right.
So anyway, but yes, that's. I don't want to talk about the Georgia fans because I'm from Georgia and I expected it.
That's
so, I'm not going to let. I'm not going to let.
So
it
that's a great lead-in. Did you expect it? Let's be for real. Did you expect it to be that way?
All right, well, this
Oh,
is the
okay.
part.
Yeah, here we go.
There we go. Is this thing on, Chris? No. Okay, my bad. And I tell y'all why. It's not that I didn't think Georgia's defense had been challenged all year, because I respect Arkansas and Tennessee offensively, not as much defensively, but I think everybody underestimated how good our offense is, especially Bryce now is really clicking and developing that relationship with his receivers, and you can kind of see that rhythm that he gets into, and there's a lot of confidence when he delivers. I just didn't think – I knew coming out that we were going to do a lot of short passes because B-Rob was hurt, and anything that he could offer was great. And I didn't have all the confidence in the world in Trey Sanders. I know he gives everything he can, but he still doesn't look 100%. So I knew there would be short passing attacks. What I didn't take into account was the fact that, and I'll touch on it later, is Jordan Davis and their other defensive lineman, 88, getting winded from a lot of those passing plays. It's easier to stand there and tackle a running back coming at you. But when you have to move upfield at 345, 350 repeatedly, and then try to come out of the game, that's another 25 yards that you got to run. You get tired.
Well, and I'll have to say that we kind of talked about it. Get the ball out quickly to playmakers, and in the first play of the game, we throw a little quick out to Jameson Williams and picks up 12 yards,
Right.
and kind of anticipated that because we were respectful of their front seven, and
Yeah.
we were going to try to spread them out, make them have to work. And
Even some of the Georgia fans to me admitted that they weren't altogether sure of their DBs. Not taking anything away. The front seven, solid. But their DBs were a little questionable to cover receivers like Mechie and
Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, the offense, like you mentioned, man, it's been really good this year when Bryce Young has had time to throw. And even when he hasn't had time to throw, he's been able to get out of that pocket, keep his eyes down the field, and complete those passes. Again, we've talked about his numbers all year long. But that was absolutely the key, was him staying upright basically the whole entire game. And when he has time to throw, with those two receivers we mentioned, man, you're right. That offense is really good. It's hard to stop.
Well, I'll say this too. You talked about just the chemistry with the receivers. You can see it becoming more and more, confident. And we made a comment about a couple of the passes that he made. That, man, when I tell you he was threading the needle, but even before the receiver would break, he was getting ready to deliver the ball. And when they turned, and that's chemistry. That's
Right.
playing together more. It's
Go
trusting.
back to that Arkansas game where you and I were texting, or all four of us were texting. There's another person that's not here. The law prevents him from being here. But when we said Williams broke off his route because he saw the safety, and Bryce saw it as well.
They were on the same page.
Exactly.
Yeah, they were on the same page. It was good to see. But again, we all said it also, man, if that offensive line could play like they played, and give Bryce a chance to be upright, to be able to make the plays, keep his feet, that sort of thing, we thought we'd have a chance, and it came to fruition Saturday. Just can't say enough about from the previous Saturday against Auburn to this past Saturday. The offensive line, to me, should be the MVP of the game. I mean,
Most complete game to me for the entire season. And how much credit should go to Seth McLaughlin? Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah.
Playing center.
Oh, man.
First time? Was it first time all year?
He's the smallest.
Dude, he looked like a tight end or something. I mean, he did not look like an offensive lineman. And man, he held his own. And
Did a
I read
fantastic job.
I read a lot about communication. I mean, so if that's been part of the issues with offensive line this year, so why haven't this guy been centering?
Well, because sometimes just different things happen, and people do have to step up, or for whatever the case may be. Dalcourt's hurt. I mean, otherwise he would have been the center more than likely. I mean, but man, great job. Kudos to the offensive line coach, Maroney, I think is his name.
Marone.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, they made some changes that had to be made, and it was obvious that they worked through the week leading up to the game.
Right. It's my understanding that Saban personally challenged them throughout the week, basically saying that you can't block their defensive line. They're too good for you.
Yeah.
Y'all don't stand a chance. Basically every day.
Well, I'll say the other thing is, they took it personally. The offensive line took it personally, which sometimes you have to be challenged that way.
Right.
But look, make no mistake, Georgia's got some really good football players. We kept saying throughout the game, number 17,
Bowers.
Well, Bowers too but Nakobe on the defensive side. That Joker's a player now.
Oh yeah, he's probably about the fastest I've seen in that position.
That Joker's a player, always around the football.
Yeah.
I was just, he made some plays. The play that he knocked down the pass,
Oh.
where Robert. I mean, when they showed it a couple of times, and they showed the back camera view, there was nobody. There was nobody out there.
He wouldn't have stopped till he got to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, great play. And then we turned that around. We had a chance on their little slipstream touchdown. Will Anderson comes off and almost does the same thing, but he doesn't, and they score a touchdown on him. So that's just, great play by Nakobe Dean. What a great player. But, man, I was really, really happy with the way that both the offensive and defensive line stepped up. We shut the run down.
That's, going into it, I had said that, kudos to Coach Freddie Roach for getting them ready. They have improved throughout the season. They swallow up the running back. They did that against Bigsby at Auburn. And I was a little concerned with Zamir White and the other running back that they have. I can't recall his name, but he's a senior too. But they were Cook. They are a great tandem.
Yeah.
And they did nothing.
Yeah. We did a really good job. Great adjustments from week to week. They had to be made. We made them. And what we've said all along, we've seen spurts of that team that we saw this past Saturday. We've seen spurts of them throughout the year. And we've always said if we could see that team show up more consistently, we always felt like we had a chance. That came together Saturday night and we win another SEC championship.
Another guy too, since we're talking about improvements and adjustments or what have you, is, a lot of kudos is got to Chris Owens.
Oh, man.
He played. I mean, we've been on him all year long, and he played his best game.
And you want to get on a homegrown product. Cohen had a really good game.
Absolutely.
He took on Davis a few times. Jordan Davis, their All-American, one-on-one, and did a
fantastic job.
Yeah.
Man, hopefully that Saban has referenced it a couple of times since the playoffs have come out and the 4 have been selected. He's made the reference. Don't be satisfied with just what you did. Can we sustain that? And what do we got to do to be able to keep that going for 2 more football games? So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how that motivation, whatever he does, because they referenced it over and over again before and after the SEC championship game. How do you continue to not allow your kids to become complacent, and how do you continue to motivate them? And now, we're ranked number 1 again, kind of used to that, but how do you now motivate them again to look for the next game and then national championship? And man, again, the guy's probably the best in the game at doing that.
Not bad. Not
bad.
He's okay.
Yeah.
So, great game, another SEC championship. We're going to jump into the second segment and talk about some plays. I know you want to look at some stuff and break that down. So, Tide fans, hold your seats. We'll be right back with Tide Talk.
Enjoy the good times a little more with the right plan. As your State Farm agent, I am here to help you protect your dreams and loved ones with life insurance. With over 60 years combined State Farm experience, call me or any of my team to find out which options are best for you. Another way, we're here to help life go right.
All right, welcome back, Tide fans. On behalf of Bob English and State Farm, we're going to go into the second segment, and we're going to jump into some plays. We're going to break down and take a look at a few things. Mo's got a few things he wants to discuss.
Yeah, let's go ahead and
What you got there, bud?
rat poison. It's yummy. You want it?
Yeah, I like so.
Yeah, let me have a little bit of that, please.
Okay.
I mean, if it helps us the way it did this past week,
I'm hearing it's pretty good.
I mean,
So, save and endorse. All right, so let's get into our first highlight. Chris, if we could, let's see, where did we go here? All right, let's pick it up here. It's 6:50 to go in the first quarter, 0-0. Watch this. He loops around Dallas Turner and finds it and comes out, and there, of course, Stetson Bennett is flat-footed. It's just a beautiful, this is how you blitz when it's not there. He loops, not there, guards there, come back out, boom!
and you made the comment, Maurice, it's not that he's a huge physically, he's just quick,
Very
strong,
fast.
and a lot of that had to do with speed. I mean, listen, he went in almost 5 yards inside and then comes back outside and is able to make
Let's
a sack.
not fail to mention the fact that it was about 4 or 5 seconds in the pocket before he could get to him because of what you're describing. But
the coverage.
I mean, the
Yeah,
coverage.
the coverage
about
was
that.
there, and knowing that that guard can't move out quick enough to pick him back up. So, all right, now let's go to what I think is another crucial play. 14:30 to go in the second quarter. This is our first touchdown, but what I love about this, okay, they
How fast he is.
I knew what. See, this is what I was talking about: get the ball in playmakers' hands. If go back and watch this, what I love about it, and they were just talking about B-Rob in his calf or his hamstring being hurt. And I was sitting there thinking, well, he can't contribute as much running, but he can definitely contribute as
Picking
a
up
blocker.
the linebacker blitzing.
And he picks up a.
He did it all night.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he throws his body in there, cuts him off, and what I love about the route is the fact you find where you want to play deep. All right, play deep on me. I'm going to get it underneath it. I'm going to take it to the house as fast as I can. But I love. That's a team player right there with B-Rob.
That's with him running.
Boom. That's what you're talking about, right? To step up there and take it on, and the blitz was no impact to us. So then we go to our next series, next play, 9:50 in the second quarter, touchdown to Mechie, Jordan Davis. Look at him, 99 against Cohen. I'm not trying to make fun of him because he
He's
seems
a
like
great
a very
player.
nice young man and everything. But this is why I knew that. Hey, I think we got him here because Cohen, you see right there, they're just
He ain't
dancing.
even trying to get off the ball.
He's tired. He
He's not
is
even-
gassed.
Look who else is in the game. They had, what was it, 85 or 88 over there getting blocked by Owens.
Yeah.
99's getting blocked by Cohen.
And what you were saying earlier, Jimmy, is this play where he's directing traffic. And not only does he have time, but he throws it to where he actually has 2 people on him.
Yeah.
And he still catches it. So,
A couple of my Georgia buddies like, yeah, on that play with Bryce Young is telling him to go to the corner. He's basically ordering a sandwich at the same time. He had so
Plenty
much
of
time.
time.
He had so much
Plenty
time
of
right
time.
there to.
all right, let's go to 13-15 in the third quarter. This is another touchdown to Jameson. This is just kind of set the tone for us. Had the time, had the stop and go. And what I love about this is this is called experience. Jameson doesn't stick his hands out to the last second. There you go, by telling the DB, not to turn around. At the last second, he catches it and just rolls it. He goes up the field, hesitate, boom, now go. And that safety went flat-footed, so you're not going to catch him. I mean, I don't think there's anybody in the country.
Yeah, I read something about the play where he waited until the last minute to use his hands, just so that the safety wouldn't throw his hands up and possibly block that ball.
And look at Chris Owens out here blocking number 88.
Good switch off.
Well, granted, he got the little chip there, but still handling 88, which is one of their All-American defensive
Yeah, and don't take that too long. That was a nice little chip.
I agree.
Love it.
Yeah, gave him enough time for Owens to get situated.
Yep. And so let's go to my last highlight. The ball is a little underthrown, but all right, here's the pick six that I love, but there is a little cause for concern. I mean, he caught them. He misread the defense. Thought we were in basically a Tampa 2 deep coverage, but in fact, Battle was not going deep. He was playing, I guess, the short side. And the receiver just runs right in front of what I think Saban and them are probably looking at today or yesterday. If you look at pause it right there. If you look at the bottom receiver, okay, now go ahead and run it. He's going to have one-on-one because he steps up.
Ooh. Ooh. That's Joe.
Yeah. And if Bennett sees that, now, granted, he does feel pressure, so he does feel like he needs to get rid of it. And, because he's been chased all night. But if he goes just deep down the middle to that post, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
that's
it's fun.
what some of the Georgia fans are seeing.
No, they haven't mentioned. I had to mention it to one of them. But, what concerns me, like you're right, I mean, I'm not getting on Job. I know he's had some struggles this year, but that would have been touchdown.
But if you watch Battle, though, he's looking at that quarterback's eyes, and he's anticipating.
Well, he almost had one in the first series.
I mean, he's anticipating that.
I would rather, and when I say this, I'm not talking about the scoring one. I'm just talking about as far as playing. I would rather have that one in the first.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was no danger as far as anybody getting by him, and it was, to me, it was a little easier.
Well, and it sets the tone.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
yeah, he almost had one, and it would have been a pick six had he caught it because there was nobody behind him or in front of him.
Right. So anyway, but we got a touchdown of it, so really done.
Love the play of the defense. I was telling Jimmy, before the game, I can't believe that there was not a lot of conversation about Phidarian Mathis and his numbers versus Jordan Battle. If you look, Jordan Davis. If you look at the numbers, they kept talking about Jordan Davis and he's this big figure and he's this All-American. Phidarian Mathis' numbers were double his. Double tackles for loss, double quarterback pressures. I mean,
double sacks, double overall tackles.
It's almost as though they didn't even consider Phidarian Mathis at all.
He has quietly had an All-American year.
And even before the game, in some of the pregame conversations, they were saying that all Georgia needed to do was make sure they blocked Will Anderson because, quote unquote, Alabama didn't have another defensive front guy that could take over a game. And I'm thinking to myself, you hadn't been watching, I don't think, because Phidarian Mathis has had a really good year.
Yeah, he has.
I mean,
yes. He hasn't had an All-SEC year.
Anderson has drawn some double teams, but he's taken advantage of that and been able to whoop his guy to be able to have the stats that
and
he has.
he was just elected team captain.
Yeah.
He's one of the four.
It would be a fine shame if he doesn't get that first team All-SEC at minimum.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he compares against other guys around the country as far as defensive linemen are concerned.
I know how he compares against Jordan Davis.
But if he is left out of the first team at All-SEC,
yeah, there's a problem.
There's a problem.
Yeah, and that's we could have a whole show about that. I just think they're tired of Alabama.
Fatigue.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little Alabama fatigue, but
I'm sorry, real quick. Don't you love what Saban said about he's not apologizing?
Oh yeah, for having a team that wants to.
Yeah, I'm not apologizing for getting my team ready to get into the playoffs every single year. Aren't we all supposed to be doing that?
I mean, don't apologize. That's the goal. So, Tide fans, we're going to take a quick break on behalf of Bob Inglis and State Farm. Hold your seats. We'll be right back with Tide Talk.
Hey, Bob.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries, and home and auto insurance from State Farm. So make it a combo. Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Just call me, Bob English, or any of my experienced hometown team and find out how you could start saving today. It's just another way.
All right, welcome back to Tide Fans.
That's house, dude.
It is.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're back.
It's good though.
Thank you.
Mine's not house.
I mean, I didn't buy it in 2009.
Sorry, I'm proud, baby. I'm proud of the shirt.
We talked a lot about different players. There's some guys that I want to mention. Of course, you can't not mention Will Anderson, although if you watched, he was getting doubled a lot, getting chipped a lot. Every time he'd line up on the side, even if they put somebody in motion, they take the tight end over there, put him near him most of the night.
Getting held a lot.
Most of the night. Yeah, listen, we certainly don't want to be that guy, but I kept saying throughout the game, can't believe some of the calls, and we've all talked a little bit. It's difficult on the interior to call holding. It's a little bit more difficult because DB's out there on an island holding the guy. It's a little more visible. Interior's much more difficult. The one that I still want to question, and we laughed about this, and I don't know if you remember. They showed it over and over again where I think it was our center, as a matter of fact, have him locked up, and the guy basically runs over him, and he just pulls him down, and they call holding.
Yeah.
I'm saying, man, I can just, my entire life, and even when I was coaching high school, you told your kid to do that. If you got inside and you're getting beat and you're going backwards, pull him with you.
Well, you don't even have to pull if he got momentum, and you just kind of help him, so to speak. But I go back, and that's when I said something about there's a mugging on the field. Tim Smith playing in the middle, he's coming through. I'm sure he's still got scratch marks on his neck from where the guy was pulling his jersey. I'm not complaining, but come on.
Yeah, I don't want this to be a segment about that. Because
they
won the game. Obviously,
that's right.
Those guys, but it was probably one of the worst officiated games I've ever seen. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed early on specifically because we're sitting there thinking again. I think even before the halfway mark, we had 6 penalties for 80 yards. 4 of those were pass interference.
And 15 were the first play of the game.
Yeah.
So to speak. So.
Yeah. But anyway, point out a couple of guys that I think we were just talking at the break, man. Helms has improved so much since the beginning of the year.
Right.
He's a headhunter. He is going to come up and hit you.
He is elevated to that part where at least he's making a mistake full speed.
Right, exactly.
And I can live with that. I can't stand where you don't know what you're doing or you're not trying or you're just lost. He's not that. He is slowly becoming, I'm not going to say the alpha because there's so many of them out there that are starting to play better, but he is really making a name for himself.
He reminds me of Mark Barron. Barron played safety, which now's a linebacker in the NFL, but he played safety for us, and that joker would come up and bring the wood to you. And
Helms has become my favorite guy.
I agree.
He's become my favorite guy in that.
In the secondary. Yeah. He definitely has progressed. I'd love to see a kid progress, whether that's taking some coaching and getting better or just doing it himself, watching film and learning where he's making mistakes and that sort of thing. But I go back to Anderson. The one thing that I love that it's talked about some, but not a lot, is just the fact that he never gives up on a play.
What I noticed the other night about Will Anderson is, of course, anytime he's against a tackle, and a lot of times against a tight end, he's smaller. He was able the other night to take on the block, and then he doesn't, there's a thing where you run yourself out of the hole. He doesn't run himself. He sheds the blocker and goes back inside. He has that instinct to where if you're pushing me out, I'm keeping my ground and I'm coming back where I know where you want me to go, where you don't want me to be. And he made that several times the other night. And he also set the tone on that first series by laying the wood on Cook. I mean, that was.
Yeah.
How many plays does he make where maybe the ball's going the other way? And he's coming
Which
down
Kirby
the line.
did a lot the other
way.
Yes.
It may be 4 yards down the field, but he's making the tackle from the opposite side.
And if he don't make it,
he's getting close. Or
If he don't make it, it's probably a big play and or possibly a touchdown. I know early in the game we pointed that out. He comes down the line hard. They're running away. I mean, and he's diving and ankle, sweeping to make a tackle 2 or 3 yards. But if he don't make that tackle, it's 15 and or more.
Yeah.
I mean, he never gives up. Love his engine. Love his energy.
Doesn't get tired. Before the season, he said he wanted to be that every down player, that he just didn't want to be known as a pass rusher. And Saban and his coach challenged him to, this is what you got to do. I think he's gotten to that point where he can play all 4.
Yeah.
Well, I think, too, he finally started getting a little national recognition. And since we're getting into the whole individual award season, I'll be completely shocked if he's not in New York. Now, he's not going to win the Heisman, I don't think. But
I don't know.
I think he'll be there. Honestly.
Bryce is locked out.
I don't know. Second place, I guess, Stroud, because he's a quarterback. I really couldn't, outside the running back from Michigan State, I couldn't name you a number 3.
Well, they're talking about the defensive player from Michigan.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot of
Yeah, they're talking about
because, but you got to remember, he's got the Chicago press behind him, being from Michigan, and he is good. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I'll take Will if we're doing a draft pick. I'll take Will
right now
over Aiden
as a
Hutchinson.
sophomore.
Yes,
Right now.
Did you see, I think Todd McShay, one of those, it was either McShay or
McShay's-
Kuiper, came out and said next year
Kuiper's number 1
that
overall.
it'd be Bryce could be number 1 and Anderson would be number 2. So, I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but there's a chance. How cool would that be?
A lot of things.
Has that ever happened? I mean, 1 and 2, the same
I don't know.
thing.
I think-
And again, I
Love-
know that's a way down the road, but still,
Love the heart of senior running back Brian Robinson.
Yep.
Love the heart. You could tell he wasn't 100%, but he was given 100%.
Yeah.
Love the fact we talked about. He may not have been able to contribute from a running perspective, but dude, the blocks that he had to pick up throughout the night, and they were bringing people often.
And I think they went light on him, meaning that they didn't focus on him during their week of practice. Meaning, not that, but don't take into it that Kirby didn't respect him. But you, as a DC, you now focus on another strength that they have, because I know that this guy is weak, so they're not going to rely on him. So B-Rob just kept that same heart, in my opinion, catching the ball, blocking, and then making a couple of crucial runs.
Obviously, when people start looking back at the history of Alabama running backs and you mention his name, he's probably not even going to be mentioned in the top 10 if I wouldn't guess. But look at what he's done in his career, where he had every opportunity to transfer, leave,
Sure.
pout, not because he's been behind some studs, and he just waited his turn, and man, I love the guy.
I'm going to tell you, I said it on Saturday. I'll tell you what I love about the Joker. And Jameson Williams, he's a hype guy. He likes to, get hyped. And when he scores, he likes to celebrate
He
a little
likes to
bit.
chat a little.
Likes to
He likes
chat
to
a bit.
chat.
And that's how it is, especially when you're out there against DBs who love to chat.
Right.
They love to talk. But, man, Brian Robinson makes his play, and he gets up and hands the ball to the referee and goes back.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he never celebrates. He never says anything, does anything. Not that we can see anyway. He may talk, but it doesn't look like it. But I love the fact that kid, he'll carry 2 or 3 guys for a couple of yards and earn 2 or 3 hard-earned yards, and he'll hand that ball and go back. He'll bust one for 15 or 20, and he's going to hand it to the referee and go back.
I got news for you. If that dude's coming through the hole, you got to make a business decision.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And you're going to feel it.
Because
Hopefully he's rewarded in the NFL draft again, whether it's a middle round or late round. Somebody's going to take a chance on that guy because man, he's got a lot of heart. And listen, I appreciate.
Well, first we still got to get by Cincinnati.
Yeah. So that was the.
we got more games to play.
Great lead in.
Dang, I forgot about all that.
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Number 4.
Bearcats.
Number 1. The Bearcat. What is it? I saw today. What is a Bearcat? But
It's a bear cat.
yeah, a bear cat. Is it B-A-R-E cat or B-E-A-R cat? Anyway, we do play Cincinnati. We opened as a 14-point favorite. I think it's 13 right now.
Yeah.
13 and a half play out. In
I got news for you.
Texas.
I'm not crazy about it because they're non-Power 5. I know that
You thinking from a motivation perspective for us? Or?
Yeah, and I'm not. I mean, I didn't. we played them for homecoming, and I didn't even know they had a team way back in '82. And you can't forget a name like a Bearcat, because at the time I was like, what's a Bearcat? So it's not just y'all, it's lasted. I worry about a little bit of a hangover or overlooking. This is a good team that's well coached. You got a great quarterback. They got some. They got a little attitude. They got a chip on their shoulder.
Right.
They beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame, and they didn't mind telling Notre Dame about it. So I don't know.
If they had beat a Georgia, or
Keep in mind
if
that-
they had beaten Ole Miss,
That's Notre Dame's only loss, and if everything would have worked right, they could have got in.
yeah, I just know that I'm tired of listening to what happens if Notre Dame gets in, because the last time that they got in,
Sure. Lost a couple of times.
yeah, the last
Well-
few times.
Well, here's the thing, man. Those teams that come out of those, I guess, lesser conferences,
They're called non-power five.
non-power fives. In today's football, I mean, there's enough skilled players across the country that all these teams have skilled players.
Rolling forward, former Alabama.
Where the difference is going to be made is across the front line, and that's going to be the matchup that we're going to talk about, 2 or 3 weeks from now. But yeah, I mean, they're a good team. I mean, like I say, you're right. I hope we can use what we did this past week, carry that over without a letdown. Seeing where we are with our goals still, and I mean, 3 weeks to prepare. Have we lost that game before? I mean,
Nick Saban's
Yeah,
had that
Ohio
much
State.
time. When first
it
playoff.
was
But we were
rhetorical.
there-
I didn't want to answer that question.
We were undefeated and number 1 seed, and I think Ohio State at the time was the lowest rated to ever come in. Michigan now was not ranked in preseason or at the beginning of the season, so now
Right.
they're the highest to ever make it. So
Yeah, so many things that you can look at from this game. Lack of motivation, overlooking them because they are non-power five. It's Cincinnati. Do they even play football there? That sort of thing.
basketball school.
But again, we stated it earlier in the show about Nick Saban and what he is so good at. And that is keeping guys from being complacent. It is motivating guys. And maybe the loss to Texas A&M, like you said earlier in the year, was the best thing that could have happened to us, because we know what it feels like and we don't like it.
Right.
So I'm not going to make a prediction yet. We're going to have another show prior to that.
If I was a coach, not the coach, but if I was a coach, I would challenge them kind of like the 1980 U.S. hockey team. If, after they beat Russia and they were playing, not Switzerland, I can't remember. But he said, if you lose this game, nobody will ever remember you except for losing.
Yeah.
So you just beat what is considered, some people thought was the greatest defense ever in college football. So you turn around and lay an egg against this team, all for naught.
Yeah, I just can't imagine that Nick Saban is going to allow that. I mean, we got some guys that are injured. Mechie's going to be out, obviously. There's a possibility that we get a couple of guys back. I know we talked about JoJo Earl and that sort of thing. But I'm going to say it, coaching and talent. And even Kirby Smart said it, schemes have a lot to do with it. But at the end of the day, the guys make the plays.
Jimmy and Jones.
Jimmy's and the Joes, not the X's and the O's. And a
Right.
buddy of mine, Jimmy Cochran, talked about that all the time. So, it ain't about the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
Yeah.
And so, we'll see in 3 weeks, but we'll come back the week before, we'll do another show. We'll talk about the playoff game and, see what happens. I just can't imagine that we won't be ready to play that football game on New Year's Eve. So,
up to them.
join us again, Tide fans, right here on Channel 207, prior to the New Year's Eve bowl game against Cincinnati, and we'll see you then. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.